In general, the standard form of a quadratic is ax squared plus bx plus c. This is a quadratic expression where a, e, and c all belong to the real number system, right? A cannot be equal to 0 because if A is equal to 0, then you would have no term in x squared, and therefore it will no longer be a quadratic, it'll be a linear expression. So when you have to factorize a quadratic, you basically you want to express the quadratic as a product of two brackets, right? So, for example, if I had a quadratic 2x squared plus 3x plus 1, and I want to factorize this quadratic, I want to write this quadratic in the form x plus something by x minus or plus something as well, right? And there are some steps that you must follow in order to find out what those two values there will be. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to identify what A, B, and C are equal to. So in this quadratic, A is 2 because that's the coefficient of x squared, right? A is the coefficient of x squared. B is 3, the coefficient of x, and then C is 1. So that's the first thing that you do when you're factorizing a quadratic. You identify A, B, and C. The next thing you do is you find AC. AC is found by multiplying A by C. So AC will be 2 times 1, which is 2. And then you need to find the factors of AC, in this case 2, that will add or subtract to give you B, and at the same time multiply to give you AC. So when I'm doing it, I like to write the factors in, uh, in pairs, right? So thankfully, this 2 is a prime number. So the only two factors of 2 are, well, 2 and 1. So 2, as you can see, 2 plus 1 gives me 3. So it satisfies the condition that it must add or subtract to give me B. And 2 times 1 gives me 2, which is AC. So it works out there as well, right? And once you find what those two factors are, you basically rewrite the quadratic. So you're going to rewrite 2x squared plus 3x plus 1. And you're rewriting it, replacing 3x with the sum of the two factors that you chose. So in this case, it's 2 and 1. So this will be 2x squared plus 2x plus x plus 1. Oh, oh, something is going on with my screen. Right. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so 2x squared plus 2x plus x plus 1. And then you factorize by grouping. So you factorize the first two terms. So the first two terms here are 2x squared and 2x. The common factor between 2x squared and 2x is 2x. 2x into 2x squared is just x, and 2x into 2x is 1. You bring down this plus sign here, and then you factorize in x and 1. Now, x and 1 have no common factors other than 1. So you put 1 here on the outside. 1 into x is x, and 1 into 1 is 1. We have our repeated factor, so we go ahead and we write that x plus 1 by 2x plus 1. So actually, in my brackets, I'll have 2x plus 1 and x plus 1. So those are the steps to factorize your quadratic expression. Now, if you want to see that your answer is correct, you multiply out these brackets and it's supposed to give you back the original quadratic. So 2x times x is 2x squared, and 2x times 1 is 2x. And then 1 times x is x, and 1 times 1 is 1. And when I simplify this, this will actually give me 2x squared. 2x plus x is 3x plus 1. So it does actually work. So I have factorized correctly. That's another one. Right, so this is the start of the exercise here. Let's say I need to factorize 6x squared plus 7x plus 2, right? So on this side, I'm going to write A, B, and C. So A is, in this case, the coefficient of x squared, which is 6. B, the coefficient of x is 7, and C is 2. So therefore, AC is equal to 6 times 2, which is 12. And now I list the factors of 12 because I need to choose the two factors of 12 that will add or subtract to give me back 7x, and at the same time multiply to give me back 12. So when I'm listing my factors, I'm going to list them in the pairs that already multiply to give me 12. So now I'll just be looking at those pairs to see which one of those will give me 7 when I add or subtract them. So the factors of 12 will be 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Which of these factors, guys, which of these pairs here could give me 7? 1 and 12, 2 and 6, or 3 and 4?
3 and 4.
3 and 4, right? Because 3 plus 4 is 7, and 3 times 4 is 12. So the two factors that I'm going to choose are 3 and 4. So I'm rewriting the expression now, replacing 7x with 3x plus 4x. So 7x is the same as 3x plus 4x, and everything else remains the same. And now I'm going to factorize by grouping. I have 6x squared and 3x. The common factor there is 3x. 3x into 6x squared is 2x, and 3x into 3x is 1. Bringing down this plus sign. 4x and 2, the common factor between 4x and 2 is 2. 2 into 4x is 2x, and 2 into 2 is 1. So now I have that repeated factor, so that will be 2x plus 1, and that into this whole term here will leave me with 3x, and into the second term will just leave me with the plus 2 on the outside here. So my factors will be 2x plus 1 by 3x plus 2. All right, let's look at another one. Say I have 6x squared again, minus 11x plus 3. So the same rules apply. You identify A, B, and C. So A is equal to 6, B is equal to negative 11, and C is equal to 3. Notice that B is negative 11. It's not just 11, right? You have to take the sign in front of 11, which is a minus. So it's going to be minus 11. So we find AC. AC is 6 times 3. 6 times 3, which is 18. And now I think I list the factors of 18 that well, in the pairs that will already multiply to give me 18. So that's 1 and 18. That's so 1 and 18, 2 and 9, or 3 and 6. Which pair here, guys, could give me negative 11? Which of these pairs, 1 and 18, 2 and 9, and 3 and 6, could give me 11?
2 and 9.
Yeah, 2 and 9, right? But it has to be minus 11. So it would have to be, for this, it's going to have to be minus 2 minus 9. And this will work because minus 2 minus 9 is minus 11. And at the same time, minus 2 times minus 9 is positive 18. So the two factors that I'm choosing here will be 2, negative 2, and negative 9. So I'm rewriting the expression, only replacing negative 11x with the two factors that I just chose, which is minus 2x minus 9x. So this would be this new line. The second line will be 6x squared minus 2x minus 9x plus 3. Now I factorize by grouping. So the common factor between 6x squared and 2x is 2x. 2x into 6x squared is 3x. And then 2x into minus 2x will be minus 1. You're bringing down this minus sign here. The common factor between 9x and 3 is 3. 3 into 9x is 3x, and 3 into 3 is, sorry, this should be a minus because it's minus and plus. So minus and plus will give you a minus. Notice that everything, when you're factorizing by grouping, what's in the bracket is supposed to be the exact same terms with the exact same sign. And so I have 3x minus 1 by 2x minus 3. Guys, something that I want you to do when you're writing your solution, you see this part with like the a is equal to 6, like the working part there? Put that on the side, okay? In your solution, when you're factorizing, I just want you to write it like this, line by line. Do not put anything extra in the part where you're factorizing. All the extra working that you're doing, do it on the side, all right? You could draw a line and do it in like a working column if you wish, but don't write it in the solution itself. All right, let's do another one. Oh, so here is an interesting thing, which we've done before, but I'm going to reiterate it now. When AC is positive and B is negative, the two factors will be negative because that's the only way you could get um, B being negative while AC is being positive. Because remember, get to get a positive, you can multiply two negatives, right? So once AC is positive, the two factors are either going to be both negative or both positive, right? So that is something to like try to remember, right? So AC, once AC is is positive, two factors are always going to be both positive or both negative. In this case, they were both negative, right? So the two factors could be both positive, so it'll be plus and a plus, right? So in your factors, you'd have like if it wasn't negative 11, it would have had to be and AC is positive, then well, once all the terms are positive, the factors will be positive. However, if AC is positive and B is negative, what to write that? And B is negative, then the two factors could be both positive or both negative. All right? Let's look at another one. Say we had 8x squared minus 10x minus 3. All right, so in this case, AC is going to be negative. And once AC is negative, the two factors are going to have two different signs because the only way you could multiply to get a negative is if both of the numbers have different signs, because only a positive by a negative or a negative by a positive could give you a negative number. So, all right, A here is the coefficient of x squared. Soraya, what is A, B, and C in this expression?
Um, A is x squared,
No,
B is
no.
10x,
A is only the coefficient of x squared. So
B
A is
is
8.
8,
B is
10,
negative 10.
negative 10,
And C is
negative 3,
Perfect. C is -3, right? So then, Soraya, what would AC be equal to?
AC would be equal to -24.
That's right, because it'll be 8 times -3, which is -24. Thank you, love. So now the factors of 24 would be 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, or 4 and 6. All right, so we need these factors to give us to multiply to give us -24, or sorry, and at the same time, add or subtract to give me -10. Now remember, I just told you that once AC is negative, the two factors are going to have different symbols, right? Meaning one of them will be plus and one of them will be minus. So which pair of factors do you think we should look at, Soraya? Because we need to get it to be -10.
2
Which one?
and 12.
2 and 12? Okay. So what would be the symbols in order to get -10?
-2 or -12.
Nah, because if it's -2 and -12, that would give me -14. It wouldn't be both
Then
negative because it has to multiply.
-2 plus 12.
-2 +12 will give me 10, +10.
So -12 +2.
Yes. Right? So it'll be 2 minus 12 because 2 minus 12 is -10, right? And then 2 times -12 gives me -24. See how it works? So that's how you have to be careful with your signs, right? But guys, once AC, this is always true, okay? Once AC is negative, or once C is negative, you don't even need to know that AC is negative. But once C is negative, the two factors will have different signs. The two factors will have different signs. Meaning one will be positive or one will be plus and the other one will be minus. If AC was positive, as in this case, in cases 1 and 2 here, the two factors could either be both positive, like this 2x plus 1 and 3x plus 2, or they can be both negative, like 3x minus 1 and 2x minus 3. But once AC is negative, the two factors are going to be negative. Sorry, the two factors are going to have different signs. Sorry about that. So now I'm rewriting the expression, replacing 8x squared, replacing minus 10x with the two factors that we just selected, which were plus 2x minus 12x. So plus 2 minus 12 minus 3. And now we factorize by grouping. The common factor between 2x and 8x squared will be 2x. 2x times 4x gives me 8x squared, and 2x times 1 gives me 2x. I'm bringing down this minus sign here. Between 12x and 3, the common factor is 3. 3 into 12x is 4x, and minus 3 into minus 3 is plus 1. Now I have my repeated factor, so that would be 4x plus 1 by 2x minus 3. Okay. Joshua, let's do this one. Joshua, your mic is working?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So let's say we have 6a squared minus a minus 15. So instead of x, I'm using a. It's still the same rules still apply, okay? A, b, and c would still apply. So a is the coefficient of a squared, b would be the coefficient of a, and c is the constant. So Josh, what is a in this case?
A will be 6.
Yeah? What is B?
-1,
And C is
-15.
-15. Great. What would be AC?
AC will be 6 times -15, which is -90.
That's right. And now we need to choose the two factors of 90. That would give me -1. That could add or subtract to give me -1, and then multiply to give me 90. So, do you know what it would be?
It'll be 9 and -10.
That's right. It'll be 9 minus 10, because 9 minus 10 is -1, and 9 times -10 is -90. Excellent. So I'm going to rewrite this expression, replacing minus a with 9 minus 10. So you'll have 6a squared um, plus 9a minus 10a minus 15. Okay, Josh, now help me factorize this by grouping. What's the common factor between 6a squared and 9a?
Pardon?
Between 6a squared and 9a, what will be the common factor there?
2. No, it'd be 3A.
3. Yeah, correct, 3a. So 3a, and in brackets, what would I put?
You would put
How many times
an
can
option.
3a go into, how many times, so we're going to factorize by saying, well, what times
Or
3a? Yeah?
3, it'll be 2A.
That's right, because 3a times 2a is 6a squared. And then 3a times what is 9a?
3,
That's right. Good. And now I'm bringing down this minus sign here. What is common between 10a and 15?
5.
5 is correct. What's the first term in the bracket?
It'll be 2A.
That's right. And then this here, minus and minus will be a plus, right? So minus 5 times, what will give me 15?
3.
Correct. Good. So now the two factors here will be 2a plus 3 by 3a minus 5. Guys, make sure you have these things written down. Thank you, Josh. All right. Zara. Zara, you there, love?
Hi, Miss. Yeah.
Okay, good. Let's do one, honey. Um, so let's say we have, wait, which one was that? Number 4. Guys, make sure you all write down all the solutions, by the way. If you didn't get it, just tell me. Right. Next one is, right, Zara, number 4. No, number 5, sorry. 5. So this one is, oh gosh, not 6 again. Okay, 9x squared. 9x squared minus 18x plus 8. Okay, Zara. What is A, B, and C?
A is 9, B is -18, and C is 8.
What is AC?
Oh, 72.
Yep, it's 72. Good. So we need the two factors of 72 that will add or subtract to give me minus 18, and at the same time multiply to give me 72. So we have to list the factors, right?
Yeah.
72 is a big number. Let's
Yeah.
see. Huh. Well, 1 and
1 and
72, no, that wouldn't work. Yeah, what else? 2 and what? 2 times 36, would that work?
yeah. I
2 and
mean,
36. No, because 36 minus 2 is not 18, right?
Yeah.
What about 3? How many times can 3 go into 72?
It could go into 72 24 times.
Would that work?
No.
No.
My God.
Let's see. So that didn't work. What about 4?
Oh,
Can
wait.
72 go
What?
into 4?
18. Yes.
18. 18
So,
and 4 wouldn't give us negative 18. Wait, Zara, you got a hard one here, girl.
yeah.
All right, so not that. What about not 9? 72 divided by 9 is 8, and 9 plus 8 is not 18, so you can't get 18 there. What other number could go into 72? Let's see. 6. 6 and 12. Zara?
Yeah. It would go into 12 times.
Yeah, so 6 and 12. And look, wouldn't that could give us minus 18, not so?
Yeah.
What would the symbols have to be? Both
It would
positive,
have
both
to be
negative, or
positive 6 and negative 12.
repeat that, honey?
Positive 6 and negative 12.
Nah, it wouldn't be positive or negative 12 because positive 6 minus 12 is
Sorry. It's
negative 6.
negative 6
Yeah, so
plus.
no, it'll both be negative because if you had negative 6 plus 12, that's going to give you negative 6. So that wouldn't work, right? Remember, we have to get minus 18. So to get minus 18, it would have to be minus 6 minus 12. Remember, Zara, once the C is positive, the two factors are either going to be both positive or both negative. Remember? Okay? Once AC is
Yeah.
positive, the two factors are either both going to be positive or both going to be negative. So here, this one is going to be minus 6 and minus 12, right? So we write in the expression, it would be 9x squared minus 6x minus 6x minus 12x plus 8. Okay, Zara, let's factorize by grouping. What's the common factor between the first two terms here?
3x.
Mm-hmm. What goes in the brackets?
3x
Mm-hmm. 3x minus.
plus 2.
That's right. And we're going to bring down this minus sign. What's the common factor here?
4.
4 is correct. And then 4 minus 4 into minus 12 will be 3x.
3. Yes.
And then minus 4 into positive 8 will be
Wait, 2.
minus 2. All right, so now the repeated factor, 3x minus 2, and then 3x minus 4. Perfect. Thank you, Zara. Hi, Faith. Good evening.
Hi, Miss. In the car, so my internet might be spotty.
Oh, shucks. Okay. All right. I was now going to ask you to work this question out with me, so no, never mind. I'm going to go to Matthias. Matthias, let's do one together. Ready, Matt?
Miss.
All right.
Yeah,
So we
miss.
have 15x squared minus x minus 2. All right. What's A, B, and C here, Matt?
A is 15. B
Mm-hmm.
is minus 1.
Mm-hmm.
And C is minus 2.
Perfect. All right. What is AC?
Negative digits.
AC is
Minus 30.
minus 30. Thank you. And now we need to choose the two factors of 30 that could add or subtract to give me 1. So the factors of 30, let's go math. Which ones are you thinking? Well, you have 1 and 30. What else? 2 and
15.
yeah,
Um,
3 and
10.
10, and then 5 and 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. Which of these
5 and
pairs?
6.
Yeah, 5 and 6. Okay, and we need it to be -1. So which signs will go where? Would it be +5 -6 or
Plus 5
-5?
minus 6.
Correct, that's right. It's going to be 5 -6 because +5 -6 will give us -1. Thank you so much, Matt. And now let's write over the expression. So this would be 15x squared plus 5x minus 6x minus 2. And now we factorize by grouping. So this would be the math. What's the common factor between 15x squared and 5x?
5.
Yeah, 5x. What goes in the brackets?
3.
Yeah, 3x squared, because it's not 3x squared, sorry,
Yeah.
just 3x.
3x.
Yeah, and then plus,
1.
writing down this minus sign. What about 6x and -2?
2.
Yep, 2.
2.
What goes in the brackets?
3x.
Yeah, 3x and then plus what? 2 into 2 is
1.
1. All right, thank you. So now we're just going to rewrite this. So this will be 3x plus 1 by 5x minus 2. Okay, guys. So now I want you all to try some for me. Make sure you have this written down already. I'm going to put some for you to try for me, please. And please send me when you're done on WhatsApp. So you guys are doing for me. Six x squared plus 19x plus 15. 6t squared minus t minus 2. Now, even though it's t, the rules still apply, right? A, B, and C would still be, A would still be the coefficient of t squared, B will be the coefficient of t, and C will be the constant. 15x squared plus 11x plus 2, 16x squared plus minus 10x plus 1, 21x squared plus 2x minus 8. And the last one that I want you to try for me, 4x squared minus 11x plus 6. So today I'm actually going to wait for each of you to send me your solutions. Faith, I know you're out, so I'll wait till, well, you don't have to worry about this right now. The rest of you, please do these 6 questions. I'm waiting to see your work. By the way, just remember, once C is positive, the two factors are either going to be both positive or both negative. If C is negative, then the two factors are either, well, sorry, the two factors are going to have different signs. Okay, guys. Matt, can you hear me better now?
Yeah, miss.
Sorry about that. Right. So AC, so we're gonna have, I think this would just be easier to write. I don't know why I didn't do this to begin with. Anyway, so you have A, B, C, and let's do AC. So A here in number 8 is 6, B is -1, and C is -2. So AC will be -12. So the two factors that we would choose will be 3 take away 4, which will give you the -1, right? So this is number 8. Um, Sarah, that was your mistake. Did you see your mistake in number 8?
Yes, miss.
Okay, good. All right. So then the second line will be 6t squared plus 3t minus 4t minus 2. So then that would give me 3t as the common factor. 3t by 2t gives me 6t squared, and 3t by 1 will give me 3t minus 2 by 2t plus 1. Is right here that I think you had a mistake. Do you see it?
I wrote the number wrong. Sorry.
So you'll have 2t plus 1 by 3t minus 2. All right. Let's look at number 9. Number 9, you have, so this is number 9 here. A is 15, B is 11, C is 11, and C is 2. So AC will be 15 times 2, which is 30. And the factors, sorry, that would give you 11 will be 6 and 5. 6 plus 5 is 11, and 6 times 5 is 30. So thankfully, this one is all positive terms, so the factorization is a much easier process. So you'll have 15x squared plus 5x plus 6x plus 2, and that gives me 5x as the common factor with the first two terms, 5x by 3x plus 1 plus 2 by 3x plus 1. And the final answer will be 3x plus 1 by 5x plus 2. Then we have number 10. Number 10, A is 16. This is number 10 here. A is 16, B is negative 10, and C is 1. So the AC will be 16. Two factors here will be minus 2, minus 8. Minus 2 minus 8 gives me minus 10. And then minus 2 times minus 8 gives me 16. So my first line would be 16x squared minus 2x minus 8x plus 1. That gives me the first two factors there. The common factor is 2x, so 2x by 8x minus 1. And then bring down the minus sign. 8x and 1 just have 1 in common. So it'll be 8x plus 1. Sorry, minus 1 in brackets. 8x minus 1 because minus 1 by minus 1 gives me plus 1. So the final answer here will be 8x minus 1 by 2x minus 1. Okay, and then number 11. Number 11 is A is 21, B is 2, and C is minus 8. The common AC would be 21 times 8, which is 168, well, minus 168. So the two factors here will be 14 minus 12. 14 take away 12 will give me 2, and 14 times minus 12 gives me 168. So the first line would be 21x squared plus 14x minus 12x minus 8. That gives me 7x on the outside by 3x plus 2x minus 4 by 3x plus 2. Not 2x here, sorry, it was just 2x, just 2. Yeah. And the final answer would be 3x plus 2 by 7x minus 4. And then the final one, the 12th and final one, number 12, A is 4, B is negative 11, and C is 6. So AC is 24, and the two factors you'll choose here would be minus 8 minus 3, because minus 8 minus 3 is minus 11, and minus 8 times minus 3 is positive 24. So this would be 4x squared minus 8x minus 3x plus 6. All right, and when you factorize by grouping, it'll be 4x into 2x minus 2 minus 3 into x into, made a mistake here, guys, sorry. Sorry about that. 4x by x minus 2, and then minus 3 by x minus 2. So the final answer will be x minus 2 by 4x minus 3. Doesn't matter which factor you write first, okay? It could be, it's really how you decided to group how you wrote the terms will determine which factor comes first. But once you have the same terms in the brackets with the same signs, your answer is correct. All right, guys. So at this point, I want to show you all how to, we've done factorizing, we've done factorizing a difference of squares already. Now I want to move on to solving the quadratics, right? So we're going to solve the quadratic equation by factorizing. All right. So give me one moment, please. We have looked so far at simply factorizing the expressions, right? The quadratics were not equal to anything, so we couldn't solve them. But if you make a quadratic, if a quadratic is equal to 0, then it becomes a quadratic equation. And when it's a quadratic equation, you can solve it, right? So it's the same format, the same general format, ax squared plus bx plus c, except it is now equal to 0, right? So when the quadratic is equal to 0, it now is a quadratic equation. And you can solve the quadratic equation by factorizing. Oh, something to note is that you can only solve a quadratic equation if it's equal to 0. So it must be equal to 0. If there's another term on the right-hand side, you need to move that term over to the left-hand side and then solve it, right? So you could only solve it when it's equal to 0. So to solve the quadratic when it's equal to 0, well, let's just say that I have, let's take one from before, right? Let's take, let me give you a new one. Right. So let's say we had, one moment. Right. So let's say we had the quadratic x squared plus 9x plus 14, right? Well, to factorize this quadratic, and this is equal to 0, right? To solve this quadratic, what you do is you'd factorize the left-hand side, which would be x plus 7 by x plus 2, and all of that is equal to 0. Now, remember, this means multiplication, right? When you write the quadratic as a product of its factors, it's literally that, a product, which means multiply. So really and truly, x plus 7 is being multiplied by x plus 2. And if all of that is equal to 0, it means that either x plus 7 is equal to 0 or x plus 2 is equal to 0. And why that is in order to get 0 as a product of two numbers, one of the numbers have to be equal to 0, right? So if you had a times b is equal to 0, then a must be equal to 0 or b must be equal to 0. Because that's the only way you could multiply two numbers and get 0, right? So in the same way, if you write the quadratic as a product of its two factors, then one of those algebraic factors, x plus 7 or x plus 2 must be equal to 0. So what you do is you equate each factor to 0 and then you solve for x. So if x plus 7 is equal to 0, then x will be equal to 0 minus 7. So x is equal to negative 7. Or if x plus 2 is equal to 0, then x would be equal to 0 minus 2, which makes x equal to negative 2. So the solution to this quadratic equation is x is equal to negative 7 and x is equal to negative 2. So that's your solution. So some quadratics have two solutions. Some of them have one, and some of them have no solution, right? But for this level, we're only going to look at the quadratics that have solutions, whether they're one or two. Let's do another one. Say we had, well, let's use one let me use another example when a is not 1. So let's say we had 2x squared plus 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. and I want to solve this quadratic, well, I'm going to factorize the left-hand side and make it equal to 0. So factorizing this, I'll have, it'll be 2x by x, um, 2x times, so here I will have 2, and here I will have 1. Let me make sure. 2x times x is 2x, 2x times, well, 2x times x is 2x squared, 2x times 1 is 2x, and then 2x, 2 times x. Wait, I made a mistake. Oops. This should just be 1 and 1. 2x times x is 2x squared, 2x times 1 is 2x. Yeah, there we go. So this one will be 2x plus 1 and x plus 1. And all of it is equal to 0. So like I told you, if 2x plus 1 by x plus 1 is equal to 0, then either one of those factors have to be equal to 0. So the next step we'll do, we'll say 2x plus 1 is equal to 0, or x plus 1 is equal to 0. And therefore, if 2x plus 1 is equal to 0, I'm going to solve the equation. 2x would be equal to 0 minus 1, which is negative 1. And therefore, x would be negative a half, because it'll be minus 1 divided by 2. And on this side, this will be x is equal to 0 minus 1, which makes x equal to minus 1. Let's do another one. Let's say I had 9b squared minus 12b plus 4 is equal to 0. In order to solve this equation by factorizing, I would first need to factorize the left-hand side. So A is 9, B is B is minus 12, and C is 4. So AC is equal to 9 times 4, which is 36. And I need two factors of 36 that would add or subtract to give me minus 12, and at the same time multiply to give me 36. Well, I think I could use um, minus 6 by minus 6. Because minus 6 take away 6 is equal to minus 12. So it satisfies this condition. And then minus 6 times minus 6 is 36. So writing over this side, it will be 9b squared minus 6b minus 6b plus 4 is equal to 0. And then 3b by 3b minus 2 minus 2b, not 2b, sorry, minus 2 by 3b minus 2 is equal to 0. So the factors of this quadratic will be repeated, 3b minus 2 by 3b minus 2 is equal to 0. So you see it's the same factor, right? Meaning that it is the same 3b minus 2 and 3b minus 2. So both of them, either one of them will be equal to 0. But since it's the same thing, you just need to solve for 1. So you could just take 3b minus 2 is equal to 0 and just solve that. So this will be 3b. If 3b minus 2 is equal to 0, then 3b is equal to 0 plus 2, which is 2. And therefore b is equal to 2 over 3. So in this quadratic, you remember just now I said that the quadratic could have 0 solutions, 1 solution, or 2 solutions. This quadratic has 1 solution, right? So you have number 1, you had 2 solutions here. Number 2, you have 1 repeated factor, so it's 1 solution. Okay, so let's do another one. Let's do another one. We'll do a new one actually. All right, so let's say we had 4x squared minus 11x plus 6. Wait, did I give you that one already? Let me see. Yes, I did. So anyway, we'll choose we already factorized that one. So I'm going to just take the factors. It's x minus 2 by 4x minus 3. So if this is equal to 0 and the factors are 4x minus 3 by x minus 2, then it means that 4x minus 3 is equal to 0, or x minus 2 is equal to 0. So solving for x in each of these cases, if 4x minus 3 is equal to 0, then 4x is 0 plus 3, which will be 3, and then x is equal to 3 quarters. And if x minus 2 is equal to 0, then x is equal to 0 plus 2, which is 2. Right? Let's do another one. Let's say we had, now this one is a difference of squares. So you have to go back in your memory a little bit to recall how to factorize a difference of squares. Now remember, difference of squares is so called because, well, one, it's subtraction, which means the difference, and the two terms are square terms. So 4x squared minus 9 is a difference of squares, and the factors will be 2x minus 3 by 2x plus 3. It's like that because the factors would be the square root of each term, and you interchange the signs, right? So then here, this is not the same factor because one is minus 3 and one is plus 3. So unlike number 2 here, where I just took 3b minus 2 and worked out for one of them, I have to do both in number 4 here because it's two different factors. So this quadratic is going to have two solutions. So here it'll be 2x minus 3 is equal to 0, or 2x plus 3 is equal to 0. So then if 2x minus 3 is equal to 0, 2x will be 0 plus 3, which will be 3, and x is equal to 3 divided by 2, so 3 halves, or if 2x plus 3 is equal to 0, 2x is 0 minus 3, which will be negative 3. And so x is equal to negative 3 over 2. Right? So that's how you solve a quadratic by factorizing. So some things to note, you can only solve a quadratic if it's equal to 0. Right? You cannot solve a quadratic if it's not equal to 0. The next thing is each of the factors will be equal to 0. So you have to first factorize it as you have done straight through, and then you equate each of the factors to 0. So what I want you guys to do now for me is go back to the questions that we just did and solve them. So what you're doing is you're going back to the questions and you're making them equal to 0 instead, and you're solving them. So for all of them, you've already factorized. So now you just need to make them equal to 0 and solve for x in each questions from number 7 to number 12. You are writing them. So write over the quadratic. Listen to the instructions clearly, please. You're writing over the quadratic, except you're writing it as equal to 0, right? So like for this one, you'll write for number 7, you're going to write in your books, um, you're writing 6x squared, 6x squared plus 19x plus 15 is equal to 0, right? And then the next line, you already factorized it in the previous exercise, so you're just going to write the factors like this. 3x plus 5 by 2x plus 3 is equal to 0, and then go ahead and work it out. So it will be, you'll have 3x plus 5 is equal to 0, or 2x plus 3 is equal to 0, and then solve it like how I just showed you. So that's what you're doing now. You're doing over those questions. You're using the same quadratics, and you already factorized them, so you don't need to factorize them again, but you're solving them this time. Send it to me when you're finished, please.
Yes, if you don't know your mic muted.